join me. Oh, it says you're live. I thought I was already live. Shit. Don't do this to me. Come on. Okay, maybe we're reconnected. I hope so. Oh, Lord. Shit. Well, you know what? This shit ain't gonna work. It doesn't look like something's wrong. There we go. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? I know it's a black screen. Anybody there? Okay, you still buffering? Can y'all see or hear now? Still buffering. This sucks, man. You can hear me? Give me a 1, somebody. Here, okay. Let's see if we can hear this man. This is the same city councilman that last week I got on here and told you guys about. Now, listen to him talk about his free speech. Hold on. Got my damn headphones on. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Damn it. Turn my Bluetooth off. Give me 1 second, guys.
Bluetooth is now off.
Okay, excuse me. I'm out here in my damn jammies. Okay. Oh, where we at? Okay. You ready? This is the man who thinks he has free speech.
That will try to create an answer in just because they don't know the truth. And that's all I'm seeking. It's like, people get upset and get bent all out of shape, but quite frankly, we're here for business. If you can't answer the question, move on. And I'm not interested whether you like my tone or not. There's options for that, and it comes up every 3 years. So you can set forth whatever you want. I'm going to tell you right now, I've made it clear. Congress shall make no law establishing a bridge of free speech. If you don't like how I said, then fine. Take that up and do what you got to do. But I won't be reprimanded, insulted by anybody, and I'm going to say my piece. So if you're going to take some actions, please, you better make sure that you don't violate the First Amendment. And I've literally had conversations with legals about this. So whatever you think you're going to do, make sure that it's legally defensible.
So, of course, that would always be my first.
Does he have free speech? He don't have free speech. He's a council member.
What I want to do, and that's why I said for the council and mayor to work together on it. And no one has any problems with any questions or anything that you would like to say.
Hit that like button, guys, please.
I do think at some point in time we do have to be concerned about hostile work environments too, because it does. I have thick skin, so it doesn't bother me. But the thing is, we are the council, and we are basically supervisors, and we cannot just make situations so difficult for people like that, because then there are consequences for us for not trying to protect these people. So what I'm trying to do is just make sure that we all understand where we're coming from, and it doesn't matter about asking someone a question. Nobody has an issue with that, so that's not the problem. And I know we can say, well, you may not like my tone.
Hey, guys, thank you for being here, guys.
Having a conversation with someone, but when we're the supervisors, the bosses, we do kind of...
They're not the bosses. We are.
If you don't, you're creating a hostile work environment.
Yes, he is.
And now you're talking about legal issues. So, we have to, at some point, find some sort of way to ask our questions, but not create a situation that is going to put us in a legal bind. So it's not about something that...
Thanks, Master C.
I'm just trying to put forth an effort to have us all be able to work together and go home. I don't need friends. I'm fine. Believe me, I'm almost 50 years old. I'm not trying to get friends. That's not what it's about.
I guess for damn illnesses.
But the thing is, we can work together. It's not a matter of liking someone just because you are disliking someone.
I'm sorry, Master C. I hope you feel better.
So, like I said, this is an effort for us all to work together. And that's, it's nothing more than that. And then as far as,
tapioca,
the public, we watch, you look at other meetings, you don't see people coming up there acting like that. And
I don't see their public act up that much. And first of all, we've got the right to free speech. We can go in there and voice our opinions for the 3 minutes. But I've watched these meetings, okay, and I don't really see the public, get out of hand. It's him more than anybody. It's him. It's this one council member more than anybody. Now, last week, he quoted the First Amendment. And again, he's quoting it. He really believes that he can say anything he wants while he's up there. Anything. This is the city of Riviera Beach, Florida. This is the same city that arrested me. No wonder they have bad cops. The city council is so lost. They don't know what's going on. And the people like this guy just because he's got a big mouth. But he don't know what the hell he's talking about. He thinks he has the first one. He's sitting up there behind the damn council meeting.
They're doing it because they have gotten away with it. And as long as we're not arresting people,
Arresting people?
Able to put people out if necessary if they're being disruptive in the meeting. And that happens at many places. And I don't see people going to jail all the time for that. Nor do I see people being sued because they were removed from the podium. I think our expectations have to be put a little higher. I mean, we've basically allowed it. And so now we're trying to fix it. And it may take a little while for people to get on board with it because it's something that's been going on for a while. But just because it's been going on for a while,
Princess Belle, I like that.
That it's right. And so my point is to try to make sure that we can do something. And all I'm asking for is everyone to be an equal participant in it. You clearly have a choice, but you can't say we didn't open it to everyone. And this truly is for everyone to give input. So it's not like we're going to say this is what we're doing. So please participate if you truly want to make our meetings move smoothly and work for the business, for the city only. Otherwise, we'll be where we are and we're sitting up here bickering over stupidness during the meeting. So that is my whole point.
I agree, lady.
Have any questions or comments? Like I said, maybe by the second week of May to have either a workshop or we can add it on as an agenda item.
Hey, Johnny, you ain't seen a while.
It would probably be best for a workshop so that we can kind of talk back and forth without having to worry about the formalness.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I applaud
Hey, David.
you raising this issue, and I support the workshop that we intend to have, or you intend to have, in second week in May or somewhere around that time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Thank you.
What is the expectation for the workshop that we're looking? Are we going to set rules of decorum for the public, for my colleagues? Are we going to outline this in the agenda? What are we looking at?
So, like I mentioned before,
That's Lawson. This Lawson, the one they just showed, he's the one that had got in a DV situation with his girlfriend, and the chief called down there and had him unarrested, and he fired the cop that arrested him because the cop said, I'm going to arrest him anyway. And that cop got rehired, and Chief Osgood is now gone. Hello. Kisses.
municipalities that have a handbook. And so, like I said, I can have some examples sent to you, or you can...
I don't know. I'm going to start going there, though. I'm going to go to some of their meetings soon, and hopefully I can get some fellow activists to go with me. I just got back in town, so, I've been resting the last 2 days. I just got back, so I ain't had time to do nothing really yet.
All of the different categories, basically about decorum. If we're putting something, we already have something in place in terms of putting things on the agenda, but as far as if we won't cut each other off. Just a number of things that just behavior-wise.
I'll pray for you, Master C.
Most of that we pretty much have that already, but it may not be in writing all the time. So just putting every single thing in there. So if we have a question about how something is to be done, we have a handbook we can look at. The other part about the public, we already have resolution in place, but I think just bringing all of this back together and putting it in one, because that could be a separate handbook, but putting everything in writing so that everyone is on the same page. But like I said before, there are many municipalities that have handbooks that you
I will, baby. Don't worry.
Or if you need the example.
And I spent 2 weeks up at my mom's. I had Easter there. Yeah, and I'm going to rest for a couple of days, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. Hopefully, get out there and do some videoing. But, yeah, I'm going to rest for a couple of days. Hell yeah, I deserve it. The whole time I was gone, I promised I was going to rest, which I did rest some, but I still found myself posting a lot, even though I wasn't recording necessarily. I was posting, which is fine, which is a good thing, but, you know, sometimes I really do need to just, you know, relax my mind a little bit. We all do. Just like if I was to work a job, I would have a day off. But with this, I've made it to where, you know, I really never get a day off. And I've got to take better care of myself than that. I've got to make sure I do take a little time off.
I do have several. I can just have them forwarded to you. And from that, during our workshop...
Oh, that sounds good, Snarkin says. I love Bo Bass.
...that we want to include in our handbook, and this is what we would agree to live by.
And I guess to that point, Madam Chair, it's difficult for me personally to understand or support it when we're just cycling the same chair position and vice chair through the same three individuals. So to have a true sense of decorum and support and facilitating of the meeting,
that's Lawson. That's the one that
opportunity to facilitate
got arrested,
to uphold the whatever we're going to set in place. So if we're not going to continue to pass that opportunity to everybody on the board, whatever rules we set is just going to be based upon what the three individuals that have been the chair and vice chair dictate.
Well, I don't...
It's difficult.
Go ahead.
It's just difficult for me to support that because essentially all we're doing is following Robert's Rules of Order. There's not a workshop or discussion or outline that we need to do. We just all need to come to the meeting prepared and follow Robert's Rules of Order. And if the workshop is more of a therapy session for us to kind of figure out how we can kind of work together as colleagues, that's a different discussion. But just facilitating the meeting and using Robert's Rules of Order and having a sense of decorum is already outlined. It's not really going to change based upon the workshop. But if a counseling session is what we need to talk about to bring all of our issues to the table and really to discuss how we're going to move forward as colleagues, that's a different thing. Because my biggest concern is that continuing to get passed over is very much disrespectful to the position that I've held. And going from not being able to serve as a chair, one of my residents said it's not that important. It is. It shows that we're willing to work together as colleagues. And for that same point, I want us to be honest and transparent with why we're having the workshop and if it's something that we truly want to do. Because I'll participate in it, but if there's nothing to be accomplished for it, I'm not wasting my time anymore. I don't have time to spare to just come and have frivolous meetings. That's not going to accomplish truly what we're trying to do.
Makes $18,000 a year. Last I checked, the city council members make $18,000 a year, and he said he ain't gonna waste his time coming to a little meeting. They need some decorum going on here, so they should all be willing to go.
Coming from Mr. Lawson, and I can certainly understand your disappointment in not being made chair or vice chair, but as we know, that those positions are, and I know it was referenced before about you all were reelected, and that is true, but that doesn't have anything to do with the chair and vice chair position. And as you know, it is basically an appointment by your colleagues, and I get where you're coming from. I've heard you say it numerous times about the disappointment in not being selected, but I don't think that has anything to do with the quorum. I mean, we got to have the quorum one way or the other, or are we going to choose to not have the quorum? I don't think that has anything to do with who's chair and who's not chair. But the thing is, if, you know, and I truly don't want anyone to participate if they truly don't feel that there's a need to do it. But I don't believe you're okay with how some of our meetings have been going. I know you're not. And so it's more of just trying to make sure that we're able to do what we need to do and not have foolishness going on during the meeting. So I'm not trying to convince anybody to get on board with this, because at the end of the day, it is going to impact
Seems like this be simple, man.
I mean, we either continue to look like fools or we want to look like we're professionals. And
how about be professionals?
Robert's Rules of Order. That's why I mentioned that initially. But there are also a number of other categories that don't necessarily fall within Robert's Rules of Orders. There's just a number of things that, like I said, once you look at the research on it, or if you need for me to send you a copy of some of the handbooks that are out at other cities, you'll see that there are just some of the things in there that has nothing to do with Robert's Rules of Order, but it's just like social, just norms, basically, that we could agree to as a council. Like I said before, we could use the next 2 weeks to research if you want to participate, and I don't think it's going to be about the number.
Earlier, they did. This is actually, this is a special utility district council, CRA and utility district meeting. Oh yeah, happy 420, everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link to this. It's live right now. I'm about a minute or two behind, and I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to go in there. But I wanted to just show you guys. He did this last week, man. But last week he was yelling and screaming. And last week he presented somebody with a bouquet of flowers, which to me seems like bribery. And he was talking about God, which I love God, but I believe in separation of church and state. He was talking about the good doctor, Martin Luther King. It was just crazy. Last week was way worse than how he acted this week. So I'm going to go because I'm sitting out here and it's kind of cool. But I'm going to drop this link. It's already on my community page, and I'm going to drop it in here. And you guys, if you want to listen to it, that's fine. If not, just go in there and tell them for a minute. Please go in there and tell them for a minute that guy don't have no free speech. Because these people think I'm crazy. They ain't saying it to me this time. But last time, they all thought I was nuts. And no, I will never want to take nobody's free speech away. But guess what? He exchanged his free speech for privileges. I didn't take his free speech. He exchanged his rights for privileges and for that $18,000 every year, okay? So I'm going to go. I want to thank you guys for jumping in here with me for a minute. And I'm going to leave the link. And yeah, run over there for a minute and say something to them. Let them know that free speech does not exist in a situation like this. Not for them. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.